Good morning and welcome to the David Wilson Out and About YouTube channel. If you start hearing a load of noise on the video, they're tree felling behind me, so I apologise for that now. Well, I'm back out on the River Medway this morning on the Medway Canoe Trail. I'm doing another stage going downstream from Yalding to Teston Lock. So a lot of debris in the water, just got to keep an eye out. I had planned to come out and to go from the Yalding platform all the way through to East Farley, but to be perfectly honest, I had such a bad night's sleep last night, I don't think I'll be able to cope, and it's getting very hot already. So what I managed to do, I managed to park up at Hampstead Lock, which is unusual. You normally have to go further down to the platform. If you put in at the platform to paddle downstream, you literally go along a canalized bit for about 500 yards to the actual Hampstead Lock, and then you have to portage from the side of the lock to where I put in. There's a slipway there, which I tend not to use because I have a skeg and a canoe platform, so it's very accessible. It's just parking normally is nigh on impossible there, but once again, I'm out in the week. I don't tend to do weekends on this river because it's just far too busy at this time of year. It becomes like a swimming pool in the summer holidays. You can hear the tree felling now. Oh, nice to be out, but like I said, just a bit of a smaller paddle today. Yes, there's a lot of debris, but then again, yesterday afternoon, or yes, it was probably about 1 or 2 o'clock, we had an almighty thunderstorm in this area. Torrential rain, sheet rain. So that lasted for about 20 minutes and then it disappeared and came back about an hour later. So I should imagine a lot of the debris in here today, leaves, bits of wood, logs, etc., are from yesterday. I mean, in all fairness, things are only just beginning to dry out from the winter, and then you get a lashing sort of rainstorm like that, something's going to give. So yeah. Getting a lovely gentle breeze in my face at the moment, probably sort of 5 to 8 mile an hour, just enough to cool me off, because I was up very early. Like I said, I didn't sleep very well, so literally I sort of said, oh, hell with it, started getting the stuff packed up into the car ready to go. I think if I'd gone back to bed I would have not got up. I would have probably slept till lunchtime, so I just decided to get out and do this. But it was already quite warm. I mean, I think 5 o'clock this morning it was about 14 degrees, and they reckon up to 26, 27 today, so you can imagine what it'll be like out on the river later. So I'm actually glad. It's around about 8:30 in the morning. Took me half hour to drive here because it's that sort of time of the morning traffic, even though I cut through the lanes, and round about 20 minutes to set up. I was sweating buckets. So it's just nice to get out on the water and just cool off a bit, if you like, relax. Birds are in fine fettle this morning. This section of the river, as we get further downstream, is much more exposed. It gets much more open. At the moment, as you can see, it's still very high banks, beautiful trees, but as you get further down, it does sort of literally open out. So when it's not calm, you can really get heavy crosswinds. It's still beautiful. It's just completely different from the upper side, the other side of Yalding, going upstream. And you do, more so on weekends or holiday time, you'll get quite a lot of motor launches on this section as well, so you will be sharing it with motor launches and all sorts. But even that, you know, it's fun in its own way. It's just different. That tree is ready to go to my right. It's just leaning so far over off the bank, it won't take a lot to take that down. Should really give it a wider berth than this. Just going to take a moment, just down paddle, and just listen to the bird song. 15-20 seconds, it'll seem like forever. That's why I come out on rivers and canals. Oh, the sun's blazing down on me now. It's on my right hand side, so I hope it's not overly affecting the video. Obviously, your worst nightmare is filming directly into the sun, and it's very, very awkward when you're out kayaking or canoeing. It's not so bad when you're out on a day walk or a hike. You can sort of just turn around and film, but obviously you don't want to keep turning your kayak around, so it's very much a you get what you get type of scenario with filming one out on a kayak. But I do hope you enjoy the content I put out. I don't want to keep harping on about it, but I have mentioned in my previous videos in this series that I have a relatively, I think it's quite serious knee issue at the moment, or knees. I've got very, very bad pains in both knees. I've been really struggling. I'm currently on 2 weeks holiday from work. I didn't take time off of work, but I was really struggling with it, the 12-hour days, and I do miles of walking. So I am literally, during the day, I'm permanently wearing knee braces, and I've got IB leave, is it called? Not plugging it, it's just what I've got on my knees, and I'm also occasionally taking the odd painkiller. So I'm just trying to keep it at bay, get it sorted out through the doctors. But you know, with both knees, it could be arthritis. But you know, we'll wait for the results of the tests. But what I'm getting at is, I've done quite well with the kayaking. I mean, I was supposed to be away. I was supposed to be up in Norfolk. I was going to take both kayaks, my big 16.5 footer and this little boy, and I was going to get out on the River Waverley. I was going to pitch up with my large air beam tent, and I was going to really just have, you know, 5 days of just luxury camping, my gear, and kayaking. But I could not face the camping side, even though the tent's quite large. You know, your standing room, it's got like 6'8" to the roof. You've still got a lot of kneeling, a lot of bending. Not quite as bad as like when I'm in the smaller tents, but you've got a lot of that. Whereas with the kayaking, once you're in the kayak, you can get your feet in a decent position. There's not an awful lot of pressure on your knees. So, and I've done quite well because this is quite light anyway. I couldn't really bring the big one out. I've had to use the smaller kayak, but it suits me. It's forced me to use it a lot, and I quite like it, to be honest. It's more or less not maxed out. It probably could take about another 2 stone on board, but it's no good for like camping trips or nothing like that. It's just a day paddle. I've got food. I have got dry clothes. I don't really care if I go in this weather. I'm wearing everything I've got is quick dry, very lightweight, and in this sunshine, in this heat, I'll dry off in no time at all. But most of the stuff I'm carrying is camera gear. So it's, you know, power banks. I've got 2 cameras with me, all sorts of gear I carry to try and make these movies. So that's where the weight comes in. But anyway, touching on the knee problem, that's why I didn't sleep last night. I literally slept from about midnight till 3. Even that was broken sleep. Until I moved, knee was my right knee only at that time was killing me. So eventually I got up, just gave up. So I've had 3 hours sleep. So I'm quite grateful that I'm on holiday. So when I get this paddle out of the way, I'll probably get the footage uploaded and go back to bed today. But I'm out doing what I can, and kayaking suits me. Very different from the upstream end. A lot more tall trees on the bank at this section, and then, as I said later, it opens right out, so you're looking into other fields and things like that. As you go through Teston, which we won't be doing today, but that'll be the next video, it sort of opens up more, and there's a lot more boats, launches moored along the way. Again, a completely different look. A couple of marinas up there, so it's an interesting river. You can have the peace and quiet, but you can get into areas where it's not built up, busier, but it's still river traffic. It's not, you know, it's just motor launches, and there's a few, you know, Dutch barges. You've got some narrow boats. It's just generally lovely. As you already know by now, this is a local river to me, what I call my pond, I call it, especially when I get it to myself like this. So I do know it like the back of my hand now. This is actually the first time I've actually attempted to film the whole of the Medway Canoe Trail downstream. I've got lots of videos of times out on this river, dating back right to probably 2017. But in no particular order. They're just, I'm in Yalding, I'm going upstream. I'm in Teston, I'm paddling to Yalding. I don't even more or less explain upstream, downstream, I don't think. It's just getting out, just enjoying myself, I suppose. But so this time I've made a conscious effort. When I started off at Tunbridge, and I paddled down to Eynsford Lock downstream, and Tunbridge being the official start of the trail, it suddenly dawned on me that I could, bear with me while I get a towel just to throw over my ankles so they don't burn. I've got cream on, but I don't want them burning. Yeah, I thought, hang on, this time I can actually document the trail. Other people have done it, they do it their way, I do it my way. The biggest downside of it is that certainly places like Eynsford Lock, and being on my own, places like Eynsford Lock are not accessible by car. They literally are in the middle of nowhere. Several of the locks, especially the upstream locks, are just sort of slap bang in the middle of nowhere, which is absolutely brilliant to stop off. It sort of stops a lot of people getting to them. You can get to them via the towpath, but that's no good again with the kayak. So what I've had to do is obviously paddle down and paddle back up. Now I am still making some videos of the upstream bit, which probably confuse the hell out of people, putting them in the playlist. But one thing I do want to explain is that what I will be doing, I haven't done it yet, but as soon as I upload this video, I'll be labelling them as I'm putting them down as revisited. So this one, for example, will be Yalding, because Hampstead Lock is in Yalding, to Teston Lock downstream, revisited. But I will be putting in brackets journey A to A, not necessarily journey A to A, A to A and A to B. Now A to B is pretty self-explanatory if I'm going from one point to another, but on these trips I'm always going to one point to another and then back to the original point. So if it says A to A, it's out and back, and if it says A to B, then obviously it's just one way, but they're all going to be A to A really. I mean, this one, the one after, that'll be a short one. That'll be Teston to East Farley and back, so it'll be A to A, but going downstream. The one after that, because East Farley is very difficult to park at, and that's the longest stretch going through Maidstone to Allington Lock that goes to, I will be parking at Allington Lock and paddling upstream to East Farley and then back down to paddling to Allington Lock to finish off the video, but still videoing each way. So I hope that does make some sense. It's just that obviously if there was two people out, we could put one car one end, travel back, and we'd have a car each end type of thing, but it's just not happening for me, and that's why it's taking so long to do the trail. I mean, not yesterday, the day before yesterday, I paddled, I think it was 4.5, 5 miles, if you like, the A to B bit, but then I had to paddle 5 miles back. So I'm paddling 10 miles in the heat, you know, in the hot sun. If I was doing that A to B all the way down, this is 18.5 miles long, 18.5 miles long. I'd have it done in two trips, but it's just not possible, yeah, when you're on your own. But maybe it makes for interesting videos because you end up with up and down videos as well, so it gives people, or you guys, the option to really look into, you know, what you want to do, where you want to put in. I'm trying to explain the parking situation and the access to the river, so I really do hope that these videos help. Alright, let's shut up for a minute and get on the paddle. I think we're approaching Wateringbury now. And there you go, motor launches both sides. Quite large touring caravans. They're still touring ones, but they're very large. I think they are, you know, used as statics now. Came down here a lot and it's always the same vans there, so behind them. But it's lovely, isn't it? Look at your caravan. Most probably these boats. These launches are theirs as well. Fair bit of breeze now. You can see the ripples on the water. May be able to hear it in the mic now, so but it's all good. There we go, another kayaker coming down. Another early bird. Hold in. You put in early. You put in early as well then. Yeah, it's nice. It is. East Farley. Where'd you go from?
No, I live in Wateringbury, so I've just launched there.
Oh, you just launched, yeah, lovely. Alright, have a nice time. Oh, he lives locally, so I tell you what, I wish I could come out without a hat like that. In 10 minutes of that, I'll have my tongue hanging out and I'll be foaming at the mouth. Morning. Looks like one of those swans is sunning itself up. It's got its wings open, but that's not actually in a violent way. You get to know what they're about to do. Just keep going. It'll be alright. See what I mean about opening up now. So obviously you've got the launches one side, there's a few houses, there's footpaths, and yeah, it's got so many different sort of views as you travel along this river. Well, there's Wateringbury train station up there. apparently you can get in the water here, you can put in, but I just don't know how to do it. So should have asked that gentleman I just met, because that's where he launched from. Well, I'm just aiming for the shade of a big tree to my right, and we'll just stop for a moment, down paddle, and have a drink of water. You know, I'm losing track of days. It was like this when I wasn't working. It's only Tuesday. For some reason I had Wednesday in my mind, but yeah, Tuesday. Oh, this is lovely. That's it. I've got the shade of this tree here. And once again I brought my bladder. And this time I froze the water overnight. It's already thawing out, but it's lovely and cold at present. So I think it was well worth putting it in the freezer. It's just adjust my seating slightly. That's it. There's a bank I could get out. Actually, be a bit of a push with my knees. It's a little bit high. Yeah. Oh. This is lovely. I need to get a kayak seat that ratchets, so what I can do, rather than straps, so I can just ratchet it back and have a lay down on the river and then ratchet it up when I want to move along. I'm loving this. As I was sort of just resting up there trying to catch a bit of shade, I sort of found myself giggling because I literally, I think it was 4:30 in the morning, I was slapping on sunscreen, you know, factor 50. A really sort of weird thing to do at that time of the morning, but considering, you know, I thought, well, if I do it now and I'll whack it on, then at least I'm not going to forget when I get on the river. So I put tons on. But as I said earlier, yeah, I came out the door at silly o'clock early, and it was already 15 degrees, and the sun was blazing. So you know, I needed that protection because I burn just looking at the sun, and I've since reapplied it to my arms, which I burnt last week because I forgot my sunscreen. So what's the moral of that story? Don't matter who you are, unless you're that gentleman that was really bronzed, when you're on the water you need bug spray and sun protection, and you really do need it. Hark at that. Yeah, because you really do cook when you're out paddling. Just hope the footage isn't overexposed because the sun's in front of me now. So I may darken the footage so it's not usable. Morning. Beautiful day for it, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be off here by then. And you see what I mean about the changing face of the river. So now you come past a string of motor launches and then you're just into a lovely sort of open area to the left. Obviously the right is still built up, but with loads of fishing sleeps. That's one thing about this section. Be nice, people, you know, we're all sharing the river. So what I tend to do, they're very obvious if they're on those sleeps. You can literally see the guys and girls fishing there. but a lot of the time you can't. And if you've got a right hand side that's really built up, and you should be actually paddling to the right, as every vessel should be on the right hand side, try and give them a wide berth, because it's very, very difficult to see their lines, and they may be casting quite a way out. You might be snagging your lines. If you do snag a line, be apologetic, be nice. Yeah, don't just sort of go, oh, yeah. They pay to fish. Well, I pay. I don't know about everybody else. A lot of people don't pay, they just come out on the rivers, but I pay a license fee and they pay a license fee, so let's just all enjoy the river together. I'm seeing some fantastic sights birds-wise this morning. They are really out and about. Now the river's bending round to the left and then to the right, so I'm going to just cut straight across. I only behave myself and stick to the water code when it's a bit busier. Oh look, see what I mean? You see what I mean? It's probably the same bird, just following me up the river. I mean, look at that willow dangling. That's the beauty of it down this section. There's loads of weeping willows just all draping over the river. There he goes. Certainly not a gardener's friend if you've got a fish pond, but beautiful looking bird all the same. See it in the flesh. On the left hand bank on that open space, you won't catch it in the film. I can see rabbits running around. I could see something running and I just sort of kept my eye on it. It's definitely a rabbit. I mean, you can imagine when the river's busy, you won't see none of this. Everything just keeps away, you know, humans. There's not many dog walkers out this morning. You normally get quite a few dog walkers on the on that left-hand bank. There's a footpath along there, but yeah, not a lot about. I'm just going to check the time because I haven't got a clue, because I got in early. I've got a broken watch that I'm carrying. Well, it's 9:30, 9:30, so I've been on the water for an hour. There's that bird again on the left. He's just stopped on the bank. So I think there's a dog jumped in down the bottom there. It wants to be a dog, the size of it. A couple of dogs. I'm going to try and get near that bird. Keep your eyes straight ahead on the camera now. I'll stop paddling in a minute because I don't want to spook it. I'm sure it will fly in a minute anyway. It's just standing dead still. It's looking up. Just paddling gently. Gonna go. There he goes. Not too bad. I got within 20 feet of it. Those dogs are having a lot of fun up ahead. The lady's throwing the ball in for them. There we go. That one running rather than jump. Good luck to them. Cooling them right off. It's great fun. You'll have to carry them two home. They love it, don't they? I am being ultra lazy today. I paddle a little way and then I stop. But in all fairness, I'm having to bend my right knee and literally hang my leg over the side because it's aching so much. So every so often I just sort of down paddle, bring my knee up, and it stops me paddling correctly on the right hand side. So just slowing down. I think the last time I came out on this particular section, I was paddling predominantly down upstream, and it was it last year? Yes, it was January 2022, and I came out with a couple of pub buddies. Stuart, who's got a hard shell. He just got himself an absolutely tiny little hard shell. I can't think what it's called. It really looked sort of odd. He looked like Noddy in the car. And I lent another mate, Rob. Yeah, it was just before I bought this. So I still had my Etiquette 3, and I lent him the Etiquette 3. And we came out in January. And we turned up at Teston, dead on the time. We turned up at 7 in the morning, but the gates don't open till 8. And it was -5. Everywhere was covered in ice, but I tell you what, it was brilliant. We did overdo it because we paddled down portage at Hampstead Lock, went through Yalding, and we went right up to Yalding Weir Lock, which was closed at the time, unfortunately. Had some lunch. I cooked up some lunch on the stove, and then we paddled back. But what a tiring day, but what a great time. Really was a fantastic paddle, and it was great. It was still hot, you know. We were overdressed once we was out on the river, but the water was literally cracking ice. Now that's a view to die for. Look at those willows, and here we are, Teston Lock. You can already hear the weir if I just keep quiet. There's an absolutely smashing country park here as well, where you can picnic. Nice car park, nice large car park, which you'll see on the next video, because that's where I'll be parking. I will have to bring my kayak trolley on the next one, because it's around about 200 metres across the park before you can get to the lock here. Oh, that was a nice paddle. So that was 3 miles, and it doesn't feel like it. I think this has been the calmest the water's been in the last week since I've been revisiting this trail. So I've been very fortunate today. And there's the lock itself, the weir to the right, boat platform to the left, and the canoe platform is absolutely wonderful here. You can go to the right hand side near the lock, or into the bay to the left. And the canoe pass is right to the left here now. I just turn so you can see it. There, Teston Canoe and Fish Pass. Not today though. That's it, we're in. certainly hear the sound of the weir. It's gushing over there. Weekdays, don't you just love them? This place will be absolutely packed solid this weekend. Right, I'm just going to take you over from the upstream platform where I'm moored. Makes it sound like I've got a yacht. Down to the downstream platform, which is here. There you go. Well, I've left Hampstead Lock now. Yeah, it was a strange one. I was quite happily filming more or less on my own. Met the one couple that asked me if I was videoing for YouTube and got a photo with me, and we just had a nice general chat about channels that we follow and enjoy, you know, along the same lines as this, but mega big. And yeah, nice chat. And then it was nice and quiet, so I decided I'd film with my 360 camera, try and get some footage, even if I don't use it. I'm not sort of banking on it at the moment because I'm still learning how to use it. And then lo and behold, an environmental agency craft turns up to go through the lock, and there seems to be dozens of people about. Several very elderly pensioners. I was sitting there about to have a cup of coffee, and they sat right next to me and started chatting to me. So I didn't really get an awful lot of filming done there. But then I'll be back there on the next video, so early morning, so hopefully that will alleviate that problem. Right, as I said, I'm well on my way back, so that's a good time to close down the video. I am going to record the upstream paddle, see what I get, and that might be another video. But as far as the downstream one is concerned, I put in at Hampstead Lock, paddled 3 miles. Hampstead Lock, and obviously I'm now turned around and going back upstream. The next downstream video will be Hampstead to East Farley. That's quite a short one for me, but I'm not going to go all the way through to Maidstone at the moment with my knee issues and this heat. So there'll be 2 more videos to complete the series on the downstream, and there will be other videos just added to the pile where I'm just paddling back and letting you enjoy the views in case you decide to go that way, I suppose. Right, that's it for now. So yeah, thanks for watching if you've watched this far. If you've enjoyed my video, please give it the thumbs up, you know, like it. If you're a subscriber, as usual, I very much appreciate you, and the ones that some of you have been with me for literally 2 or 3 years now, that's absolutely awesome. Thanks for sticking by me. If you're a regular viewer or new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Although it's not of massive importance to me, I'm not chasing subscribers or votes. It really does motivate me to get out and create content. So if you would. Thank you very much. Right, that's it for now. Bye bye.